Hi again. Recently we did a tutorial series featuring some images created with Howler 10, making use of the new foliage tools, and I thought it would be a good idea to cover those again now that we've released version 10 to the public. And these are a few examples of images we created with the new and improved foliage tools. And I thought it would be a good idea to start step by step and go through how we did some of these. So let's just take a look at what we have here. This is hand-painted background scenery like these clouds, and then we have some mountains generated with 3D Designer. Philip talks about 3D Designer quite a lot, so I'm not really going to go over that much. But we'll talk about it briefly. And then we have the foliage in the background or in the foreground here, using the foliage painting tools. And then in this example, we did some extra sun rays using a filter as well. So let's jump into that. We're going to start with some mountain scenery and also some clouds today, and then we'll get into the foliage stuff as well. Clouds is something I wanted to talk about for a while. We want to do these sort of hand-painted looking clouds, as if you had painted them wet on wet on an oil painting on a canvas or some sort of effect like that. So let's jump right into Howler. And I've already created a background image. Nothing fancy. It's just a simple, more or less a silhouette with a little bit of color in it. Like I said, Philip talks a lot about 3D Designer, so I'll just show you what we did. We generated a landscape from some fractal noise. We added a little bit of ground fog to it, and we're just basically looking for the silhouette shape. It's in the first third of the image. We don't want to put it right down through the middle of the image because that's generally considered to be dull. We put it in the top 1/3 of the image. For composition's sake. It's not going to be the focus of the painting, so we didn't put a lot of detail, contrast, or anything to it. We just have this little bit of a highlight on there, and then this shadow area. So after we did that, we went ahead and painted out with the airbrush tool the stuff we in the foreground there we didn't want, and we're just going to start with this. We also did a little bit of color adjustment to it. So let's remember we have a stored image of this. We want to use that later, and let's jump into a foliage preset, or sorry, a brush preset, and something that works good for clouds. Let's find a good brush for doing clouds, and I'm sure we have something under oils maybe. Let's see, way down. Here somewhere. We got quite a few medias in here now. Yes, I think there's one called maybe gooey smear would be good. Let me see. That's a start. Let's pick a better color for that. Let's do one white, and let's also make some changes to that. Let's see. Let's give this a little more step value here, and what else do we want to change here? Maybe some random position as well. Okay, that's a good start. I think also some random size would be useful, random angles, that kind of thing, on this particular brush. And once you get this where you want it, you can always save that as a preset. Say click Save Media and just type in like brush for clouds or something like that. Alright, we're just going to start painting with that, and perhaps we'll change the opacity down a little bit. You can see where we're going with that, making this brush that blends clouds very well. One thing I'm going to do is pick, using the turkey baster, the color picker here, I'm going to click on the comma key and right click. That'll pick that as a secondary color. We're going to pick up that sky color. So now when I paint with that background color, we're blending the sky color in. And when I paint with the other brush, the left button, I'm painting with the white. So we might actually want to use a slightly warmer tone here. So the oranges, just a little bit of warmth in there would be better. So let's go back a ways. In fact, we can completely obliterate that if we wanted to. And let's start painting our clouds. We just want to put some nice hand-painted looking clouds in here. Remember the light. In fact, we know where the light's coming from. This scene is coming from the top left of the screen, because that's what we did with our 3D designer there. And it's okay if we go ahead and obliterate this for now, because we can go back and paint it later. That's not a problem. We can put that back in later. Or, you know, it might be good to just paint some clouds over that, as if this were sort of a, you know, covered by a ground fog or something. That by itself might be kind of neat. So, but we don't want to make it totally blown out white. We want to keep it interesting looking. So let's just go ahead and come to a nice compromise here. I think that's getting the idea. If you do accidentally paint something in there, we can fix that later. Over the back, we don't want to necessarily cover up our mountains here. So let's copy that into the swap image, the original. Let's go here. You can jump to the swap image and just click on that to restore that. Now we have both. We can swap back and forth between them. And there's a mode called under style, there's a mode, no, I'm sorry, under mode, there's a mode called rub through, and that will rub through to the swap image, and that'll just let me go in and restore that swap image. If you see what I just did there, it's sort of like undoing back to the swap image. Think of it that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and just paint our original backdrop in there, back in there. Just want to make sure it's not being obliterated, that silhouette's not being obliterated. And there we go. Alright. I think that is a pretty reasonable start on what I wanted to accomplish with this. And when we come back, I think we'll talk about painting foliage on top of that. Thanks again for watching, and ta-ta for now.